David Loring had no way of knowing that he was under observation, and that his every movement was being watched. He could not see the lighted telecommunication screen or the cold alien eyes trained on his image as he inserted the key which Janice had given him into the door of her apartment and stood for an instant motionless, with an angry set to his jaw. He did not know that an alien electronic pickup device was transmitting his image from an apartment house hallway in Greenwich Village to a hovering flying disc high in the sky. Within the disc, the screen glowed brightly. Lauren's image was life-size. It stood out with a startling three-dimensional clarity. Not only was the image studied carefully, it was relayed to a dozen other flying discs within a radius of 600 miles. The eyes that watched were dark and inscrutable, buried in folds of pinkish flesh. They did not blink, but stared steadily and without noticeable animation. Each eye was like a smoky lens, concealing more than it revealed, keeping its many secrets hidden. Each eye was a sphinx eye, brooding and unfathomable, and each eye was the eye of a Martian. The truth would have staggered Loring and broken down all of his defenses. He would have stood motionless, his hand on the doorknob, struggling to remain calm, but feeling his sanity imperiled. Fortunately, he did not know, did not even suspect that everything he said or did was being constantly scrutinized. His ignorance was shared to every man, woman, and child on earth. Not even the sharp-wise eyes of the astronomers had detected the rocket flares on Mars when the Martian ships had taken off from the red planet on their three-stage journey across space. There were other things that Loring did not know or suspect. The Martian invaders of Earth had been woman hunting. They had been woman hunting so relentlessly for 5 days that even as Loring's image flickered on their telecommunication screens, their great silvery mothership was moving slowly above the autumn resplendent countryside, 140 miles from New York City, at an altitude of 90 feet above ground level. It was a deserted region of sapling spruce and birches and dwarf evergreens, growing so symmetrically on the sloping hillside that each isolated group of trees had a deceptive appearance of greenhouse cultivation. The Martian invaders were taking a calculated risk. They were almost sure that the sparsely settled region would contain no eyewitness whom they could not quickly capture and silence. But they could not be completely sure. The screams of the captured woman, or the barking of savage dogs in the scattered farms, or in the street of the small village communities, might be just loud and frantic enough to alert the hard-eyed, stony-faced man, whose duty it was to carry arms and be always on guard. The inhabitants of Earth had already seen far too many Martian ships. Fortunately, their Martian origin had not been tracked, even by the credulous, and the majority of eyewitnesses preferred to believe they came from Venus or the dark side of the moon, or some unknown region of outer space. No scientist of worldwide prestige had even seen a flying saucer, and scientists in general refused to take unidentified flying objects seriously, and were quick to dismiss the many rumored sightings as superstitious nonsense, the product of mass hysteria.